Hey, look who's back. Tony, Smitty.
The gang is back. What's up?
Hey, now I hope that you have prepared your report, Smitty, on what I did on my summer vacation.
Actually, Tony, no, I haven't. But I can give you a couple things I've been doing.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, first of all, I want to dedicate this episode to my beloved dog, Miles Davis Smith. We had to put our dog down. One of the hardest things I ever had to do. It was too early. He shouldn't have been going that early. But I want to dedicate this episode to my guy, Miles. Yeah.
Animals are part of the family, and I think
man.
For people who don't understand the bond that happens between animals and their owners, you're missing something, because I mean it's solid. I'm so
unconditional love. I always say it, unconditional love.
Yep. You leave the room for 5 minutes and come back, and they act like they haven't seen you in a year.
Right.
They're amazing.
All right.
Well, I don't have a summer report either. All I've been doing is being a package jockey for Amazon. I'm trying. My wife and I have been talking about this. She's like, "Look, man, you got to get a real job." Because the podcasting thing is fun. This is a great outlet. The musical
There's
minute.
no money in it yet.
I thought that might take, and it took off in so many ways, in every way except getting money for it.
Right.
So now I'm like, I guess I need to see if I can reach out to friends and try to get back into radio or something. I don't know. But, because I don't. Again, the real job thing. I mean, and it's funny. She makes fun of me. She goes, "You're qualified to do other things." I said, "Okay, maybe I have things that could make me qualified for it." But I mean, if they say, "Okay, just pull up let's pull up a spreadsheet," I don't know what the hell a spreadsheet is. Those simple little things, because radio is the only thing I've ever done.
Right.
So anyway,
you definitely should be back in radio, Tony. You got that voice. You got I mean, that's what you do. You are radio, man. You need to get back.
Watching or listening to this in that business. I'm available, and I'm willing to move. We're in Nashville, but this is not really home. Love to get back out west. I'd love to get back out to.
I bet
Near Katie's family or Southern California. That'd be crazy cool. Anyway, well, we're back, and we're really excited about this. We started out, our summer break was going to be a little shorter, but then we said, as long as we're doing this, let's just take some time to get our heads together, get some rest, have a little fun, and then come back and be all excited.
Yeah, man.
So today, we're really thrilled. Our deep dive, we're going to talk about a song that basically brought an icon back from the dead career-wise. It was released this week, a little over 40 years ago. It was also, if you can believe it, and when we talk about who it is and the career that this person had, you'll be like, oh my God. It was her first, and I think as it turns out, only #1 on the Hot 100, the Billboard Hot 100.
Now, that was hard for me to believe when I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
So when you hear the name, you're going to be like, there's no way.
First of all, the fact that you said it was like 40 years old is kind of jarring. That kind of made me like, God, dang, I'm old.
I know, right?
Gee.
I think about the decade that song was released. I think, that's 20 years ago. Double that, man. Ooh. Man. Hurts so bad. So we're super excited to talk about the song and the artist and how it came to be and other things that kind of went into making it happen. It's quite a story. So that'll be in just a bit. But
yes.
We're in the midst of our alphabet journey through our music collections, Tony and Smitty's A to Z. Do you want to go first, man?
I can go first, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
We're up to I.
So we're up to I. And the record that I'm going to show today, I'm holding right now, is Ohio natives, the Isley Brothers, their album, The Heat Is On. This is an R&B classic. If you don't have it, get help. But this album was released in 1975, June 7th, 1975, to be exact. It was the group's 13th solo album, or 13th album.
Wow.
Yeah, the group's 13th album. It was recorded in their own studio in California. I mentioned they were from Ohio, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, Cincinnati. This was like the peak of their 70s run. They were hot in the 70s, but this one was the peak. They actually reached #1 on Billboard 200, which was the first and only time the group reached #1 on the Billboard 200.
It's like talking about the artists. We're going to be talking about in the deep dive. You see a band like a group like this, so incredibly talented, you can't believe that they're only #1.
The album stayed on the charts for 2 years. Sold over 2 million copies in the U.S. Wow. It was praised for its versatility. The they call it half up-tempo funk and half slow ballads.
Nice.
I don't know what that means, but that's what they called it.
Okay.
Right. So the notable songs on here is Fight the Power, of course.
Yeah.
The name of the album. Also, my favorites, which is probably my favorite Isley Brothers tune, is For the Love of You, parts 1 and 2. Oh, man. Just put that on. That'll take you. Guys, play the song for your girl. For the Love of You, Isley Brothers. You can thank me later.
Yeah, they have kind of a knack for bedroom R&B.
Oh man. I think I got a couple of Isley Brothers baby making playlist. Yeah.
Nice.
Damn Isley Brothers. But yeah, it's considered one of the Isley's best albums by most people. It showed their funky side and their love ballad side, which, like you said, they were known for. But yeah, even today, people sample the songs on the album. So it lives on. It lives on. So that is my album, the Isley Brothers, The Heat Is On.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Mine is a very different type of music. I picked one. This was, man, an absolute mainstay of my young heavy metal life. I went through a lot of genres when I was a kid that I loved, and I would listen almost exclusively to one genre for a while. I would get so into it that I just, at the time, I was buying up all the cassettes of the bands I liked, and I was exploring. Okay. But these guys, like a lot of those bands, fell by the wayside for me. When I started collecting vinyl again, I didn't really replace with a lot of those bands because they were good at the time, but not really my cup of tea as an adult. But this band, I loved as a kid, I loved as a young adult, and I still love today. I'll put these records on.
Wait, let me guess.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, can I guess?
Yeah, you guess.
It's going to be Iron Maiden.
Look at Smitty being all smart. That is correct.
I mean, that's the only heavy metal group I know that starts with an I. So
you put your Sherlock Holmes hat on and went to work.
Right. Well, deduction, baby.
The band formed in 1975, something like that. I didn't really discover Iron Maiden until the 80s, so I missed, like, their first two albums had a different lead singer. And I didn't really know about the band. I didn't know about that whole thing. I got into it later, obviously, once I got into the band. So I discovered them during the Bruce Dickinson phase. He was their second singer and their most popular singer. And has been with them through all their most successful times.
Right. Okay.
And so this album wasn't even the first album he was on. Number of the Beast was the first album he was on, and that's a whole story on its own. And that album's incredible. But the first album I got by Iron Maiden was Peace of Mind.
Oh,
that's the album I'm holding up here.
That covers. I'm definitely familiar with that cover. Yeah, I don't have it, but
yeah. Well, these guys were kind of pioneers of the new wave of British heavy metal. There were a lot of bands. Def Leppard was part of that, and many more.
Oh, I didn't know they were British.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And so this album for me was just, God, I just loved it. From the first song on this thing, which is called "Where Eagles Dare." And this crazy drum sound, and it's like an assault on the senses out of the gate. And I was like, what the hell? And as a drummer, I was like, what is going on? And Bruce Dickinson's voice, he's got this operatic kind of heavy metal, crazy high voice. And he survived throat cancer and came back and returned to the band, still singing. He sounds as good today as he ever did. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
But I think the thing I really remember about this and how tough it was to like these guys in the 80s, their songs are so smart. Like, they base their songs on classic literature and
really,
just like the song title, "Where Eagles Dare" is about paratroopers, I think, in World War II.
Oh wow!
Revelations, the book of the Bible. They have Flight of Icarus, the guy who flew too close to the sun. There's just Sun and Steel. I mean, all this stuff, and then there's one on here called "To Tame a Land," and that's the one that really blew my mind because I had not read the book on which it's based at this point. So they're saying all these things. I'm like, what are they talking about? These crazy names and stuff. And I'm trying to find, there's no internet in 1983 when this came out. So if you're a kid and you're listening to this and you haven't read Dune, which is what they based that song on, they're talking about the Kwisatz Haderach and the Gom Jabbar. Like, what is going on? And I'm like looking in the Bible. Is this Bible stuff? I couldn't figure it out. And for the longest, and then I never knew. Like, I didn't know until I saw Dune. And I was like, this all makes sense now.
That's crazy.
And then went back and listened, and the song is like a 7 or 8 minute long epic song based on Dune. And so I was like, oh my God. But that's the kind of stuff they did. They had a 10-minute song called "The Rime of the Ancient Mariner" based on that story. It's heavy metal, and I know people who don't like metal. That's fine. It's cool. But these are smart musicians, and these are guys who write songs based around stuff that just blows your mind. And I love them. Still love them today. Their last album that came out a couple of years ago is great. They sound amazing.
They're still making music?
They're still making music. They're still touring. Really? They still make music, and it's still a lot.
It's got to be 70 years old.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of guys, like Bruce Dickinson's also a pilot. Like, he flies a 747. That's the band's. That's how they get around. Wow. It's wild.
Wow, that's crazy.
Great band. If you've never heard them, you should listen to them. This album For a lot of people, it's their favorite. Other people love Number of the Beast the most. Other people love Power Slave, which has got a lot of good songs on it. But the 80s were their time. The 80s is when they just went kaboom, and everybody was like, oh my God, Iron Maiden. And then they still hung around, obviously past that. Dickinson left for a while. They had a different singer for a bit of time, and then he came back, and he's still with them now. And there's a lot of the same guys in the band. It's crazy. The drummer just retired, like I think this year. I think he finally was like, I can't do this anymore.
I have to admit, Tony, nobody I knew played Iron Maiden growing up. So I don't know any of their songs.
Well, that's okay, because when we get to our song behind the sample in a little bit, I'm going to share a story with equal shame about what I didn't know and don't know. If nothing else, on Music is the Glue, we're honest. We come forth with the stuff we know, the stuff we don't know.
That's what we're here for, to learn. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the beauty of love and music, sharing that knowledge.
Exactly.
Getting it out there. Okay, so
I've heard of the group, of course. I've heard of them, but I just couldn't tell you a song. And I probably heard a song somewhere. I just couldn't tell you.
Maybe? Yeah, I'm trying to think of what you might have.
I don't know. Did they play them on MTV?
MTV definitely played their videos.
Okay, maybe.
Did you ever play Grand Theft Auto, your video game at all?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah.
On Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the one that's kind of based in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you flip around in the car when you're driving around on the rock station, 2 Minutes to Midnight by Iron Maiden is one of the songs that gets played.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's a plus for some
people.
people.
You used to play. I didn't know you played Vice City, GTA.
Love. Really? That's probably my favorite installment.
That is mine, for sure, yeah.
I mean, that's a whole other thing we can get into, the music they use in Grand Theft Auto. But, okay, well, are we ready for this deep dive?
Yeah, man. Come on.
Excited to talk about this. I actually did the story about this song in one of my music minutes on Instagram, YouTube, and the other channels I have. And I was blown away, didn't realize that this song, which just reignited this artist's career, was the only number one on the Billboard Hot 100.
That's crazy.
So when you think about an artist who's an icon, and Tina Turner, I think it qualifies. I mean, I know that word is thrown around a lot.
Without a
doubt.
But
you don't think about an artist like that having a career slump, which she did. You don't think about her not having a number one in her whole career, which she didn't. But then a song came along and changed all that, and she had a huge resurgence in the 80s because of it. And if you're a fan of Tina Turner, you already know the song we're talking about here.
Absolutely.
What's Love Got to Do with it?
Man.
And so a little history, if you don't mind, first, for those who don't know a lot about Tina Turner. So you go way back, and of course, I'm not going to go back to her childhood. She's got a story that deserves a lot more time than this. But so we're going to jump to when she really started kind of getting famous.
We're not going to talk about Flatbush.
Flatbush is worth talking about. Flatbush City Limits. But around 1960 is when she kind of really rose to prominence, and that's when she became like the lead singer of her husband and wife duo thing, Ike and Tina Turner. And that story has been told a lot. They made a movie out of it, the whole thing.
Yes, they did.
Crazy live performances. They were known for these explosive live performances. Her stage presence was just unbelievable.
Oh, man.
And so during the days, and Smitty, you taught me about this, the Chitlin Circuit. We talked about that on a previous episode, and you talked a little bit about what that is. But they built this reputation. They had this hot, durable, explosive R&B ensemble. They like rivaled James Brown for energy on stage.
Oh,
and that was kind of how that went. But because they were so profitable and people liked them so much, they were able to play in otherwise segregated situations. They would desegregate and let mixed audiences come see these guys because they were so big and they were so popular. Everybody wanted to see them. So they had that early success, that R&B soul thing. But what was so sad is, as this is rolling along and they're having all this success. I mean, Tina became the first female artist, I believe the first black artist to be on the cover of Rolling Stone.
I think you're right. Yeah.
That was in 1967, which is crazy. But behind the scenes all this time, this horrible personal life, being abused by Ike and all these terrible things happening. It just makes you so sad to think that someone so talented and so big is being treated that way by this guy. Yeah. So she finally, I think like so many women had enough and said, you know what, why am I sticking around for this?
Yeah.
And she got the hell out of there. And that was like 1976. Okay. Yeah. And
she left with 36 cents to her name.
Yeah, and didn't she have like a gas card or something, or some kind of
gas station credit card? Yes.
Yeah. So the bravery, maybe a little bit of desperation, a little bit of bravery, but to say, I don't care what's in my pocket, man. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And getting out of there. But when she starts this solo career, she started kind of in the negative because all of these Ike and Tina Turner dates had to be canceled.
Right.
And they had to pay for those. There was money that was owed, and she had no money. So she had to start doing things. It was crazy. She was going on like Hollywood Squares and the Sonny and Cher show and Donnie and Marie, just any kind of TV appearances to make a few bucks so she could start paying these debts down.
It's crazy that she was actually, at that time, she was considered washed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Right? You think about this incredible 2-part career that she had. So she's doing all those shows, and the last big hit she had was with Ike, and that was the cover that they did of Proud Mary in 71. But then it was just, I think it was maybe bad timing more than anything, because she was kind of the R&B and the rock and roller. She had that.
And then that era that we're getting ready to go into was a little weird.
It was disco,
Yeah,
she's not a disco singer.
Not even close.
So those albums that she put out there, I think there were a couple of albums that she put out there that they flopped, and there were no hits. And everybody's like, wow, man, Tina Turner, she can't do it without Ike. And that makes it even worse that people are saying, she needs Ike to be successful.
Yeah.
It's a crock of,
of course.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he needed her.
Yeah, and he knew that. He knew that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I didn't know this until I was reading up on this, that he trademarked the name Tina Turner so that if she left the band, he could just bring in another Tina Turner.
Tina Turner, yep.
What a jackass.
That's crazy.
Oh, my God.
That's
anyway.
crazy.
When did you first start listening to Tina Turner? Like, when did you know about her?
Of course, I heard, Proud Mary and some of the other songs they had, River Deep. I remember I used to love that song when I was younger. That was a good song. I'd heard them, but I didn't really know anything about Tina Turner, Ike Turner. I didn't know their story until the movie came out. I didn't know the background. So like a lot of people, I didn't until What's Love Got to Do With It came out. I really didn't know much about her at all. Mm-hmm. And of course, that song just blew up everywhere. And then I started learning more and more about her. She kept putting out other hits.
Yeah.
Still blown away that was her only number one. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I was just I think Proud Mary was probably the song I knew most.
Yeah.
And because I just saw clips of it on TV, but I never was really a Tina Turner fan as a youngster. It wasn't just as I've talked about before. It wasn't my kind of music at that time.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get away from her music in the 80s.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
We're building to that. She's doing these things, and because she's kind of failing and she's considered washed up, she's having to do dates in places like Bahrain and Yugoslavia. She's going to these crazy places to do shows because they want to see Tina Turner sing Proud Mary or River Deep or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But it's not the kind of career that she's hoping for or that she thought she was going to have. And she's doing a little tour in Australia, and that's where her fortunes started to change. She met Roger Davies, who said, "Hey, I think you're still viable. I think you still got something to I want to be your manager, and let me help you get back to huge."
Right.
She, I think, said what a lot of people would say. Yeah, please. What do I need to do?
Do something.
Yeah. And so he wanted, the first thing he wanted to do was let, kind of the bigwigs know that Tina Turner is still viable. She's still got it. She's still incredible. So he booked the Ritz in New York, which is a crazy cool place. Yeah. And then he invited a bunch of bigwigs and artists, and like David Bowie came, and that was a really big deal at that time. I think Rod Stewart was in the audience and some other folks. And she was smart because she knew, I got to be friends with these guys. I got to be, I want to be nice to them. I want to hang out with them because maybe they'll help me out. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
She did this show, and then Rod Stewart, a couple years later, I think, said, "Hey, I'm going on SNL. You should come on and sing Hot Legs with me." So she gets to go on Saturday Night Live, and she does Hot Legs. And then the Rolling Stones said, "Hey, you should open some shows for us." So she opened 3 shows for the Stones on their 81 American tour, and she's getting in front of people again. So now it's kind of, and now so Capitol Records noticed that and said, "Okay, all right, let's sign Tina Turner and see what happens." So they signed her, but they weren't going to make an album until they see what happens with the first song that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And they picked a good one, November '83. It's a classic. Al Green, Let's Stay Together.
Stay together, baby.
Yeah.
Let's stay together.
I don't remember how high did that go on the charts? Do you happen to know? It was a hit.
Yeah, I can't remember right offhand how far it went on the charts.
Okay, well, I know it was on the UK charts.
Research team, can you look that up for us?
So number 6 in the UK.
Okay.
And it peaked at number 26 on the Hot 100. So it was, a minor hit. But it was enough of a hit that it's getting played on the radio. She's on Casey's Top 40. She's getting heard again. And so Capitol said, "Okay, you know what? That was kind of a hit. We're going to pay for a whole album. You've got 2 weeks."
2 whole weeks. Let's get it out there.
Not to be crude, I would shit my pants if I was Tina Turner and said, you got 2 weeks to make an album. Are you crazy?
That's crazy.
But her manager, Roger Davies, he said, okay, we can do this. So he starts rolling in songwriters and stuff. So we got to get some songs for Tina. We got to do this. And he had a couple of buddies. I hope I pronounced their names right. Terry Britton and Graham Lyle. And they wrote this song. And they had offered it to Cliff Richard, if you know who he is.
Now, who was that?
I think they call him the British Elvis. He's much bigger in Europe. He had some hits here too. I think the song I know by Cliff Richard best. God, I think it's Devil Woman. Did he sing Devil Woman? Now let me get the research team on this
research team,
because I don't want to be wrong about them, because I know a lot of people love Cliff Richard. I just don't know enough about him to speak intelligently. So let me. British singer, 21.5 million singles sold in the UK.
Okay.
So he's a big deal over there.
Big, yeah.
Yeah, really, really big.
Never heard of him.
And then, Devil Woman. We Don't Talk Anymore is another big song of his. Okay. So We Don't Talk Anymore. It's so funny how we don't talk anymore. I don't know if you have ever heard that one.
Did it cross over to the U.S.?
Yes. That was a hit here.
Yeah.
And then Devil Woman was, I think, the first song I heard by him on the radio, and I really liked that one, too. He's just a devil woman with evil
I know that
on
song.
her mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
I know that song.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was a long way to go to say that they offered this song to him, and he said, no, I don't want to sing it. Okay.
Wow.
So Davey said, I think this could be great for Tina. So he brought it to Tina, and as happens so many times with artists, she heard it, and she said, I hate it. I hate it. I don't want to sing this song. I don't like it. This isn't me. This is not my style. And he said, have I led you wrong so far? And she said, no. Everything you've done has brought me back from the brink. So, okay, fine. I'm going to record this song. And she gave it her all. She did, said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. Yeah. And so they had Private Dancer. The album's ready to go. And Capitol said, okay, of course, the song that she hates, they said, we want to release this as a single. We think this is, and she's like, oh, great, okay. And they put it out, and it starts this slow climb up the charts. And then it had, this is MTV time. So getting on MTV was a really big help. The music video, here's a little nugget you may not know. Bruce Springsteen's sister is in the music video.
Really?
Yeah. So
I wonder how that came about.
I think she was just a dancer, and she. Probably,
wow.
I think she
auditioned. No, I've never heard that.
Well,
you got me.
I always try to get one in there.
That's good.
And then, and then this week, back in 1984, on September 1st, it became her first, and as it turns out, only Billboard Hot 100 #1.
That's wild. Her first one.
She'd been doing it since 1960-ish, and all those songs. They were huge R&B songs.
Yeah.
But the crossover success didn't come, and then of course after this one hit #1, she didn't have any other #1s, but a lot of hits.
She had some good songs though. A lot of hits.
Private Dancer, the title track.
That was my favorite. I liked Private Dancer better than What's Love Got to Do with It. I love that song.
It's a great song. Well, written by Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits, which I
didn't know that.
I found crazy when I found that out. I was like, you got to be kidding me! Why did he write this song?
Right. I was going to say, why did he write a song like that?
And I haven't done the deep dive into that to find out if he had written it for somebody else or if he had just written it as like, I like this. I don't know what this is, but anyway, it became a hit for Tina. Obviously,
that's the one for me.
Yeah, that's a great song. And she was 44 when the song went #1, which at that time made her the oldest solo female artist to top the Hot 100.
That's wow.
I think that got broken by Cher with Believe in the 90s.
Cher was about 80 when that came out, wasn't she?
Well, her face was only 60.
That was mean. I'm sorry, Cher. If you're watching, Cher, I'm sorry.
We invite you to come on and give your side of the story.
Yeah, I apologize. That was unnecessary.
Hey, if it was a dude, I'd make the same joke. Don't mess with your face so much, men or women. Anyway, it was the second biggest single of 1984. Do you know what the biggest single of 84 was?
84.
Came from a soundtrack.
Footloose.
Good guess, but no. Prince, When Doves Cry.
Wow. Okay.
The next year, 85, she won Grammys, 3 Grammy Awards for the song. She played Rock in Rio. She played Live Aid. She starred in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I mean, her comeback was complete at that point. And all it took was that one song that she hated to get her back on track.
That's wild. And I like that one too. The song from the Mad Max soundtrack.
Oh, We Don't Need Another Hero?
We don't need. Yeah, I like that one. That was a good one.
It's for some reason I have a couple of buddies, and
now who wrote that one? You know everything. Who wrote that one, Tony? You know everything.
I don't know everything, and I don't know who wrote that song, but I can get our research team on it right now and find out. It was written by, drumroll please, same guys who wrote What's Love Got to Do with It.
Oh, damn.
Graham Lyle and Terry Britton.
Oh, they made some good money from Tina, huh?
They sure did.
Now, did she have any other big hits after that? I can't remember. I'll take that back. What's that one song? The Best? Simply the Best?
Simply the Best.
That was a good song. That was a good one. I mean, that's the only one I can remember after that, though, after that album. Now, I'm sure she did, but I'm not aware.
All right. So I know, Private Dancer obviously was a hit.
Typical Male. I don't know that song.
You don't know that one?
Maybe if I heard it.
I'm not going to sing it because that's just going to ruin it. But let's see, singles. Here we go.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
All right. So what's up? Oh, so after that, Better Be Good to Me. I remember that.
Oh,
one.
I do know that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that one.
Okay. We Don't Need Another Hero was number 2. Yeah. One of the Living, I think, was also from the Thunderdome soundtrack. Typical Male. What you see is what you see, or what you get is what you see. That was in number 13, but I don't remember that song.
I don't remember that one. No.
And then The Best went to number 15 in 89. I think that was her last big hit. No, I take that back. I Don't Want to Fight, 1993.
No.
If you heard that, I think you know
it.
I think okay. Yeah, that's a good song actually. That was her last big hit.
To go from like really total near obscurity to a global icon in like, what is that, a matter of 2 years?
Yeah. I mean, she was
crazy.
Yeah, playing from Yugoslavia and Bahrain.
Yeah, right.
And then suddenly she's a superstar. She's starring in movies, winning Grammys. Just amazing. So sad that she's gone. That's just one of those that hurts.
Man.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've only done this once before, and the first time we did it, we cheated because it wasn't even a sample, really. A song behind the sample. And I'm about to shame myself and my family, and I apologize. So my story behind this, and why I thought this would be a good one to do, is because I didn't know the song behind the sample.
So yeah, I think you told me about when you first realized.
So Notorious B.I.G.
Song, yeah.
You know, I don't listen to a ton of rap, but I do like some of it. I like a lot of his stuff, and so Big Papa, a song he doesn't like, another hit that I think it was his first big hit. He didn't really like it, didn't like the whole thing, but I like it a lot. But I didn't know what the sample was, and honestly, I didn't even care to look it up. It's too hard. I'm a huge fan of the Beastie Boys. But I don't take the time to go look up every sample. If I recognize it, I go, oh, okay, I know what that is. If I don't, I just enjoy the song. But this one, because I obviously heard it on his, and then my wife's a big fan of Gwen Stefani's solo stuff. So when she did, I think, is it Luxurious that she sampled?
Luxurious,
same sample. And I heard it again. I was like, oh man, that's a big song that she's using it too. Still didn't look it up though. So we moved back to Nashville a few years ago. And there's a radio station here that plays classic R&B, and they don't have any DJs. It just plays music and then like recorded stuff. And I found myself listening to this station a lot as I'm kind of continuing my R&B journey and education.
Yeah.
And so Katie's in the car with me, and we're going someplace, and all of a sudden, here comes this song. I'm like, hey. And in my head, I'm thinking, why are they playing Big Papa? This is a classic R&B station. And then all of a sudden it clicks. Oh my God, this is the song. And it's the Isley Brothers, Between the Sheets.
Between the Sheets, baby.
Happen to have a classic copy with a hype sticker right here, holding that one up.
Time out. So you talked about being embarrassed because you didn't know. I'm embarrassed because I don't have that album. I could have swore, Tony, I could have swore I had that album.
Well.
I think somebody stole it. They had to, because I know I had that album.
Shame flows both ways.
Yeah, so I'm going to go try to find it tomorrow, actually. Now I'm mad I don't have it.
It's a great album. But, but my reaction when that came on, and Katie was like, you didn't know that this, I said, I had no idea. I said, I wasn't a big Isley Brothers aficionado. I didn't know enough
you were listening to Iron Maiden. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, right.
Isley Brothers, come on.
I mean, honestly, and I'm sorry to say this, that's changed now. Obviously, you can say I have the album, that's a few other ones. But my knowledge of the Isley Brothers up until this point was probably because of Rod Stewart when he remade Downtown Train and stuff like that. Yeah. And I knew they were on some of those songs with them. I was like, oh, the Isley Brothers. Okay, cool. But I didn't really know anything about them. So
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. I just so when this came on the radio, it blew me away. And of course, I started doing a little digging and looking at it. And I said, well, I got to go get this record. And ran to Phonolux Records here in Nashville. And of course, they had a copy. And I said, yes. Now I have my first Isley Brothers record.
Now, you probably heard Isleys before that and just didn't know.
Didn't know.
Like Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout.
Yeah.
Those are songs I knew, but yes, until later I would know it was the Isley Brothers just because I would see their name appear next to it. But I just didn't know much about their history or where they came from, how they came, how many brothers there were, like all that kind of stuff. It just never came up in my life. So I feel bad about that, but I'm fixing that now.
1983, man.
Sexual healing. The reason they were kind of, speaking of slumps and comebacks, And again, I just told you I'm no expert, so this is stuff I looked up. Obviously, I'm not trying to cheat and pretend I know all these things. But I was surprised to not really find as much about this record as I thought I would, only because it's so popular in modern music. But I guess they had done a couple albums at that time that produced no singles. They didn't really chart very well, and they wanted to get back in the groove. And they heard "Sexual Healing" by Marvin Gaye, and were like,
yeah,
now that's how you stay relevant. So we need to do a record like that. And they went into the studio,
they did it.
and they did. They made this.
And they did it.
This album, and it was big. I guess this one went to I think #1 on the R&B chart. I think it peaked at number 19 on the Billboard all genre chart.
Oh, I thought it was number 6. My research team gave me bad information that way. I thought it peaked at number 6 on the Hot 100.
I think the song peaked higher. The album itself.
Oh, take that back. Big Papa.
Oh, Big Papa, yeah, Big Papa
reached number 6.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still talking about the Isley Brothers.
My fault.
Yeah, this is all their stuff. So then, they had the hit there, and it was a big hit for them. And I think the first time it got sampled was in 1988. Samples started pouring in 1988. MC Shy D's "I Don't Want to Treat You Wrong."
I remember that song.
Yeah, that was the first one. I don't know that song. But that was the first one to do it. And then you start looking at the list, and I mean, I don't know the majority of the artists, so I picked some that I recognized: A Tribe Called Quest, Common, Rob Bass, Skee-Lo, Jay-Z, Doja Cat, Whitney Houston, Gwen Stefani, and then just a ton more has sampled this song. It was on Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
But I think it's just maybe one of the most famous and best R&B bedroom songs ever.
Absolutely.
This song, I mean, the moment it starts.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
She's pregnant before the song goes. Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised. I wasn't familiar with the Whitney song that sampled it, but there's this. You can really go down a rabbit hole with just one little song like this.
Yeah.
And that's why I love samples. I didn't love them when I was younger. I think I looked at it as a cheat. I thought, man, I don't like the artists are making a song, taking this and just putting a new beat to it. But then I realized, as a smarter adult, what an art form that is, and how you can make great new art.
Yeah,
and at the same time keep older art alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because here I am, a grown ass man who had no idea that the Isley Brothers sang that song and that was so popular in these other tunes, and so I think it's important.
I think the only thing that bothers me about sampling are the ones that people use a sample and they don't change it at all. They just play. It's just the same thing.
Yeah.
And you just throw some words on top of it. Do a little tweak here and there. Do something different.
Yeah. But and definitely. I guess when it bugged me,
like that.
When it bugged me the most is when like songs that I really love or artists that I really love get sampled into a song I don't love as much.
Oh yeah, right.
Like when Diddy used the Police, "Every Breath You Take."
I hated that song.
I did too. I was like, man, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't take just an iconic, incredible song and ruin it. in my opinion, I know a lot of people like that song, but
a lot of Sting made a lot of money off that song. Sting got all the money.
Dude,
he still talks about it.
He does
in interviews.
It's crazy how much money he made off that, and good for him.
Still making money. Yeah, absolutely.
He always will. I think Stuart Copeland is one of my favorite drummers, and I love the Police. So I always like to watch interviews where he talks about the band and how they put things together and how things were, because they were so known for being so volatile and hating each other so much by the time it was all said and done.
I remember that, yeah.
But he does come back now and like he'll say, man, we had our problems and there's a lot of tough times, but Sting is one talented son of a bitch. He said I don't know if there's another songwriter out there who can write songs like he writes.
Yeah.
And I can't argue with that either. And they would come, you'd see the first few Police albums, and like Stuart Copeland always gets at least one songwriting credit on there, and Andy Summers got to put maybe one song on there, and everything else was Sting. And people would say, "Do you guys get mad about that?" And Stuart Copeland was like, "No," he said, "I don't like the guy, but he writes better songs than I do. We're not going to we're not going to put our songs on just so we can get our songs on the record when he's writing hit after hit after hit. Of course, we want to put his songs on the record." But then I got kind of mad at Sting in the MTV era for one quote. I was like, don't say stuff like this.
Oh, no. What did
But they were filming a music video, and allegedly, they were absolutely filming a music video, but he allegedly said this. At one point, they were trying to figure out camera shots and stuff, and he just looked at him and said, "Just keep it on the money." Just keep it on my face. And I was like, oh, God, that's a douchey thing to say. And I get it. I mean, he was Sting. He was the guy, but Don't say it out loud like that and be serious.
You could think it, but don't say it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other, didn't mean to get off on a whole police rant there, but I guess, I think that's it.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground here. We've admitted to some things we weren't proud of. We've learned a little bit. It's a good way to come back, I think.
Yeah. Welcome back, Tony.
Hey, you too, Smitty. And thanks to all of you who have been listening and downloading the show and watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
We can't say thanks enough. Obviously, we're still just the little podcast that could. We need to do a better job of advertising ourselves, because I think we hear so many positive things about this, and we want to get the word out more. And we're going to ask you, if you've listened this far, to please share the episode with your friends, get it on social media, and say, hey, have you checked out these two guys? You should, because that's important to us. Put a like on it if you're watching on YouTube. If you can write a quick review, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify or wherever you are listening to your podcasts, all those things help us out, and it really matters a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We thank you. We're thrilled to be back. We got episodes coming. We're still planning a bunch of stuff, but our next episode, we can tell you this. We're sticking with the 80s. We're going all in on the 80s on the next episode. We're going to be celebrating a television show that changed the whole medium with its style and its music.
Man.
It was just unlike anything anybody had seen, and it was so good.
It was like watching a movie, like a great movie every week.
Yeah, and
an hour-long movie. Yeah,
we have some definite personal memories we're going to share about it, but also some great stories that you might not know about it.
Right.
So that's our deep dive next time. We're really looking forward to that. And then again, the 80s theme. It's still there. We have a re-review, and if you missed this, we've only done it once before. We take a big album, an iconic album from back in the day, and we look at it song by song and kind of decide, hey, is this still great? Were we blinded by the time?
Right. Yeah.
Or is it still just great? So we're going to find out if this particular 80s album still holds up. And we'll be up to Jay.
Yes.
And should we make the rule that the Jay has to come from the 80s as well?
Why not? Let's do it.
Okay. We're going to go all in on this.
Let's do it.
I had a different Jay in mind, but
the one I already have picked out is from the 80s.
Oh, perfect.
So it works for me.
I can definitely follow that. So all that's happening.
Here we go. All 80s, baby. Let's do it.
It's going to be. I think I know what I'm going to wear too. I'm already thinking about style for this.
Not got any neon around here somewhere? I don't know.
Thanks again for watching and listening. Again, please share, please like, all those things that everybody asks you to do. All right. Thanks so much. Remember, no matter the genre, no matter the decade, music is the glue.
Music is the glue.
Keeps us together, man. Stay tuned and stay connected. And we'll see you next time.
Let's go.